Hi there and welcome. So I've been looking through my Touch 5 markers, and as I mentioned, this dude, I think that he's a little bit like a gray dude, a steel dude. So I'm thinking actually to do him in gray, but also do some, I'm going to flip in a bit of a rainbow, but I'm also going to do some grays. And I'm gonna try to see if I can sort out the cool grays here. This is cool gray, cool gray, cool gray, cool gray. So blue, blue, warm, blue, warm. These are cool grays. Cool gray. Cool gray here. This is green gray, warm gray, blue gray, green gray, blue gray. I'm putting those aside. I got a green, a warm, a green, a warm, and a warm. So that means that I have here 8 cool grays. So I got 8 cool grays. I'm just gonna go and share because I think I have a set with more grays. I might want to go with that because I'm thinking that might be more, but I'm just gonna share the video. So yeah, I just shared to a couple of places, but I'm actually thinking that I have a few more grays in my Shin Hand Touch set. But the thing is that I'm not sure how much ink I got left in those. So it might be better to go with this. This is cool 0.5. So I'm thinking that these might be, this is cool gray 1. And let's see what we have here. We got cool gray 2. We got the 4 here. The 4 and the 6. And we got the, this is a 9. There's 2 9s. And this is the 8. 8 and the 9. There's 2 9s. So yeah, that's the cool grays. So that's actually 7. So I'm not thinking. Okay, have a good time with the stables. So yeah, I'm just lining up some grays. But I really think maybe the Touch, Shin Hand Touch, I think I have quite a few more in the grayscale. So I'm just gonna have a look at that, how many I actually have in there of the grays, because I think I have more to make a fuller set of grays. What do I now? Let's see. That's what I have. And there's like what, 3, 6, 8. There's 10. I have 10 cool grays there. It's probably a fuller range. But maybe I can fill in on some of these. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just gonna leave it in the thinking box while I pick out. Let's see, because I thought that there was like at least I got the green grays. Here's a cool gray. That was a 9 again. Was that one that there was 2 of? Then we got warm grays here. Warm grays and blue grays and green grays. There's many grays. Hi Candace, hi Julie. Warm gray, warm gray. Warm gray. So yeah, this goes with the warm grays. There's green grays. Blue grays, so this must be warm grays. I have 6 there. Then we got blue grays, 5, and 4 of the green grays. So there's like some different grays here. I'm just gonna count the ones from the Spectrum Noir. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 there, but then there's the darks. I actually think these two should switch, but I also think these 2 should switch. So I'm not really excited about that gray set. So I'm thinking that I might just maybe change my plan. Maybe go for a rainbow of my Tiger Margus. Let me see, I have the Tiger Margus here. I have a royal mess. I'm gonna see here. Because if it's not gonna be enough of the grays, then it won't have the effect that I'm wanting. So that's not gonna be funny. And I want him to have a steel kind of thing going on. You see, we have a yellow here. So orange. And we had a red, pink, purple, the blue, light blue, the light turquoise, the turquoise, the green, the light green, the black we're not using. And then I had these to go in betweens. And there's a deep yellow here. And there was the vermilion here. And there was this purple. I don't know what that color was, what it went in between. This was the green that goes between there. And this was the brilliant blue that goes here. And pale blue. The turquoise. The yellow green here. So yeah, I'm thinking of putting these in. Hi, Anne. Oh, thank you. That's awesome, Tina. That's really great. So yeah, we're ready with him. I have this, I was rolling on this with I was banking on my idea of the grays. And I do still want to do that, but it's just like that it's not really enough in the set. Maybe, well, there's 3, there's 7. I mean, I could go with 7, but I'm not sure that it will be interesting enough to get the full effect of that gray thing that I was actually looking for, the effect of that. So that's a little bit annoying me because I kind of wanted that. So I'm just thinking, because I wanted to do it. I liked it. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Anne. I wanted him to be like the steel man. But I can see that that's not really working out for me. Maybe I'll turn him over and do him the other way around, but I just wanted him to have that steel man look. And maybe do like, so yeah. Is it 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and we got 16 there, so that means 2 off. 2 goes away. I think that would be this pink. And then I think it would be this blue. And maybe, yeah, this blue. Yeah, I think that's it. Those 2 go off. Then we got 16 here. Then I'm gonna just start with this while I'm thinking. Maybe do this man in the middle section. I'm not sure. I was kind of excited about doing him in grays. I'm gonna go for the grays to begin with, and I have this. I'm just gonna go for having this in the grays, and yeah, I put them in the order here. So yeah, this is gonna be a total test to see if my idea actually works. Maybe we'll, you know, where are we gonna start? It's just that I don't have enough grays, I think, for that full effect that I wanted. So I'm a little bit annoyed with that. Slightly. I'm gonna go here. This is the lightest gray. And right now I'm actually coloring. I finally got that new paper that I ordered. So this is like the thick 200 gram paper that they made a mistake on. Just gonna I wanna try it and see what it's like to color on and how it works. This is the darker one. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I've done quite a few effects, but on colored ones where I've used the grays to make a sort of steel effect. I know that it may seem slightly boring, but I do think that it's kind of funky. And then, you know, we can intertwine some we'll just take it in small steps, and then we can sort of put some color on in some of the places and see how it works. Just little splashes, like not too much color. We're gonna do like really grayish. So I think it's gonna be interesting to do that. So I'm just gonna roll with this just to begin with, to see how I get that one out here. Just that little man in the middle. And yeah, since it's only 7, but it'll be going back and forth in a different manner. So I'm hoping that it will have the desired effect, the effect that I want. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I missed that. I knew I missed it. 4. So yeah, it might seem boring to begin with, but I hope it will make sense. Let me get a little bit further. So I'm always thinking about this one as a steel mask Weirdie. So yeah, I was hoping that there were more in the same gray, but I could take the other sets and use in other parts, so that that would be different kind of grays, you know, that could also enhance the effect of the gray that I'm looking for. So I'm going full on gray on this here. And we'll see if it works or not. But it's one of them where there was 4, so that could fit. So this one, this was the 8, then we got the 9. It's the darkest one there was in this set of 7 cool grays. So these are the cool grays. These are nice. So then I will be going backwards after this, as you see. So I'll be going to the 8 that was before. So they'll be sort of changing back and forth like that. I really have today, my throat is so bad. It's hurting so much when I cough, and it's been like that all day. And Victoria is definitely better, but she's still coughing really bad, so there's no school for that. So I guess, you know, yeah, she's not going to school tomorrow either. It's a bit of a pain because, you know, she's also, you know, she gets sick of staying at home, and I don't get everything done that I need to do, and yeah, so that's a bit of a drag to be Siggy's, and so yeah, so that's, but you know, we'll get better, we'll get there, definitely. So yeah, this is sort of how it's rolling here, and then we'll roll on. Colors will come on soon as well, so it'll develop. I'm just taking this a little bit step by step, as otherwise it will be too overwhelming all at once. I do think that it's interesting to see how this paper will work. It's very, very smooth surface, no texture whatsoever, which I like a smooth surface. It's easier for the markers, and it doesn't eat. It's a very, hopefully it doesn't eat too much ink. So yeah, that's pretty good. Hi Chris. So yeah, so far so good. You see that part down there is done. So we're just gonna go steel on it. You're hoping you won't find that too boring. I know it's not the most interesting right now, but I'm promising you it will get better, because we're gonna get into the other grays, the other gray sets as well. So this was the lightest gray, the one we started with in there. So this little man here who's carrying this load, he'll be a steel dude, a heavy steel dude. So this lightest one is going out here. So already now, we're actually back at the number 2 again. Wasn't it? Did I do something wrong? I probably did. I thought this was the lightest one. Yeah, that's this one. So yeah, I did right. I did right. So then it's this one is just keeping track. Yeah, that's the one. So that one, I want to bring it up here. So that's just for that dude in the middle. Thank you. It's gonna be. I always see this as like a steel mask or something. So I'm sort of trying to do it in different grayscales, but I didn't. I thought I had like a fuller scale of the cool grays, but it turns out that I have 7. But then I have blue grays and I have green grays and I have brown grays. So you know, I have some different grays to work with in different sections. And then I'm thinking that we will have a few splashes of rainbow in there, but just a few. So yeah, that's sort of the deal I'm working on. And this was the number 2. This was the, I have to really check, not 05. Okay, so I had 05, 01. And this is a 02. I have to make sure that I'm not messing up the order, because that will sort of ruin the overall impression if I do that. So I really have to be careful with the order here. I also think I have to be careful because this surface actually does so that it takes a little bit longer for the ink to actually dry, which I think is a good thing. It's the first time I'm trying this paper, and yeah, it's because they made a mistake on the website, which made it like 4 times cheaper than it should have been. That's the kind of mistake that I appreciate and will take full advantage of if I can. Because this is a 200 gram and the same brand as this one, totally the same, but just 120 gram cost like 4 times as much as this one. And the same with the 160 and the 180. So I could see that it was definitely a mistake, the price that was put on this one. And that was a happy-go-lucky mistake for me. So he's going to get that little steel nose. And that I'll continue up here. So we just get the colors next to each other. I want to carry it through and then hope that this will give a great overall effect in the end. It's also interesting to color on another paper than what I'm used to. I'm used to the cheap copy paper, which I think works very well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it reacts. Du er sød at lægge dig ind i sengen. Godnat. Så ind i sengen. Ja, den er 10:15. Yeah, so that was my daughter again. She's been in bed since 9 o'clock. That's 1 hour and 15 minutes ago. But she seems to keep coming by. So yeah, she switched from my bedroom to her own bedroom. Then my dad's friend came by and she saw that as a clear excuse to leave the bed to say hello. So yeah, there's been all kinds of excuses, and now I think she's running out of them, which I can understand that that's very annoying to run out of excuses of coming out of bed. I don't know if you guys saw, I got that from the one I did on Patreon yesterday where I drew. I actually managed to merge it with the original one. So I actually managed to put up a coloring page for you guys with the add-on that I drew yesterday. So I was quite pleased with that, with succeeding in that. That was quite a task in Photoshop to get them to fit, because they were different sizes. So this is going to be an interesting effect, I think. So that was the 9. Now we have to go all the way up again. So he will finish off here with the 8 and go on up here. So I'm going for this section first. So yeah, it will sort of be very much an experiment. I think it could look pretty cool in the end if we can keep it like that and maybe just have a small splash of color. So I'm hoping that you guys are liking it. I don't know, there's not a lot of you, so maybe people don't like grays. Ah, awesome. Well, you know, check it out when you have time. It's not going away, so but that will be what I will be coloring next, and then of course there will be the giveaway. Yeah. So that was very nice. And I've planned that the giveaway will be on the 3rd of March for the original piece. Hi Heather, nice to see you. So this is actually, it's looking pretty awesome. I think already I see a good effect. What I was hoping for. I would have liked to have had a lot more grays in there, but I just didn't have, and I didn't really, it wasn't perfect on the Spectrum Noirs for what I wanted. I wanted them, I think this is going well, even though that there's only 7. It still gets a good feel around. And I think you really see how it goes from light to dark and going back and forth. I like that a lot. I think it will be a nice overall effect to have it colored like that. Just to emphasize this steel look that I see in this one. So yeah. Hi Rose. Oh yeah, and Rose, I got great news. You know, the 3rd week of the cooking competition, I landed with one of my dishes, the trio of cucumber starters. I landed the 2nd place. So I got the 2nd place, and my other dish, that was the Thai scallop and cucumber salad, landed the 11th place. Hi Beverly, how are you feeling today? So yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw that I actually got the 2nd place. It's the 2nd time in the competition that I'm landing the 2nd place. So I'm very happy about that. Really pleased. And tomorrow, of course, the theme for the week 5 will be out, which I'm looking forward to see what that will be, because I'll have to do it in the weekend before I go to Jutland. I'm hoping that we will be not having this throat shit. Sorry about the language. So that we can, you know, I don't want to go and give a throat infection to Tina and her family. So thank you. Yeah, it's great news. So I'm still number 1 in the league, as I was last week, and I have actually 42 points. So I'm number 1 with 42 points, and number 2 has 26 points in the league. So I'm actually kind of very good on my lead, I think. I hope. We'll see. But so far so good. we'll just see how it continues. And I'm not having big hopes for this week because I don't know, my dishes were nice, but they weren't like as fancy pants. And there wasn't as much maybe work involved in them to make them, because I was making them. Also, I didn't make a lot of pictures, and I made, because my dad's friend just got out of the hospital and she was in the kitchen with me while I was cooking, so I didn't have time to do a lot of pictures. So it was more, yeah, and more like hurried, because I had to put dinner on the table for 4 people, so I couldn't just stand there and nurgle with it for like ages like I normally do when I just do it for myself. So yeah, so in that respect, this week I don't have any real expectations. No, this is the touch 5 ones, because I wanted to try the grays in this, and I wanted to try to do this because I always see him as a steel mask somehow, so I wanted to make him a grayscale steel mask and play with that, you know, the shades of gray. I wish I had a few more in the cool grays. I would have liked to have had maybe 12 or something like that. It would have made for a bigger effect. But I think this will still have an effect. And that's what we're going for, or what I'm going for. And there will be maybe splashes of color. I'm planning to have splashes of color. So this concludes the first section. I'm kind of doing it in sections, as I'm not quite sure yet where I will put. I know I'll put color here in those dots. I'm thinking about that. But they went in 16. And this goes in 7, so now we have that one that goes down there. So yeah, I'm thinking actually here, it's where I'm going to put the colors to start with. I'm probably going to go, there was the one with 4, I'm going to go with that first. That was the green grays. I have the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7. 1, 3, 5, and 7. So here I'm gonna use that down here. I'm gonna start with the 7. This is gonna be a complicated mess. So these are the touch 5, or new touch. They're known by many names, I think. Oh, that sounds great with the Wi-Fi. Awesome, Candice. Have a great time with it. We'll just be here coloring and having a good time. And yeah, hoping that your Wi-Fi will get set up and work awesomely. I once had Wi-Fi where it took me ages to get it set up, but they found out why. It was something that was missing in the old phone line or something, whatever that they were using. So it wasn't my fault. It was dead annoying. So yeah, these are the green grays that I'm using now. Yeah, we're gonna have like, I'm gonna try to use all the grays and sort of have different, yeah, just to complicate matters more, make it more confusing and everything. I'm gonna like go for testing all the grays, all the different grays, and I'm also using the new paper, 200-gram one. You have homework. That sounds good. Report back, yeah. So this is gonna be here. So, you know, I'm gonna do these 2 sections because there's 4 of these green grays. So that fits perfectly here, where there's 4. So I also have to see if there would be a slight difference of these colors, that we can see it actually, or if we don't notice it at all. But we'll have to see about that. I actually think I have to get in also with some black. Because I do want to make it like very mask-like, and yeah, get that steel thing to go stand out more. I'm thinking that this paper actually is not as great as my copy paper, that this 200-gram paper is making it more blotchy, because I know that when I colored with these on the other paper, it seemed perfect. So strange. So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to use this for drawing instead of for coloring, and then just stay with my regular cheap copy paper for coloring, as I'm thinking that this actually is a bit blotchy. We'll have to see how it dries up in the end. Actually, I think this is drying up nicely. So let's see what happens with it. Space alien. Angry cat. Yeah, it might be. It looks like angry cat. It definitely does not look very happy. It looks more happy if you turn it around. Then it's totally different. Different really. So these are the green rays. So we're going in shades of gray. I smeared a bit there. Not good. So, and that's the lightest one is going on now. Space alien. I keep opening in the wrong side. So like that. Oops. There. So this is a light one. That's a very lovely one, actually. So it's a green race. And then the other ones, there's one, the brown race is 6, and the blue race is 5. I'll have to see where they will fit in the order of things here. So yeah, that's a definition definitely here. So now I'm gonna go with adding some black up here. Just here where there's the background. I want that to be black so that the color will stand out more. So I'm just gonna add black there. Most of these places is just a tiny dot. I didn't add it when I drew it because I was thinking maybe some people don't want it to be too dominant with the black, and people can choose themselves how they want to do it. On others, I have added it, but in a lot of cases, I'll just leave it up to whoever colors it, because I think sometimes it can be annoying if the artist has made too many decisions that will affect the final look. It has to be left open also that you can make some decisions yourself about what you want to do with it, or which direction you want to take it in. Yeah. I'm just going to take that here. So yeah, I'm gonna take it really easy with it because I want it. Yeah, I want these effects to come out. I can see that it takes longer to dry up on this paper. It's very, very smooth. Actually, it's a very lovely surface. Does not seem to be eating ink at all. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I'll let that dry. And I'll keep my black handy if I feel like I need it again. And then I'm just gonna wonder about next section where I'm gonna go for it. And I'm actually thinking about going here. It's annoying that I blotched it a little bit here with my finger. I'm thinking maybe repeating that here so that, you know, we get some. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe going on here with the this one, the cool grays that I used there, I think could be repeated here. Yeah. So going a little bit in between sections with that. It's a really lovely, this 0.5 gray. I like that color a lot. It's very nice and smooth. You can use it for a lot of effects, I think. And I think I'm going to have maybe the warmer brown grays here. The cool grays going up here. And maybe the blue grays going up here. And I think this here and this will be rainbowy. Like these dots will be rainbowy. And I'll probably go rainbow up here. And then this will be different grays. I'm thinking. Just thinking out loud. I'm not sure. It can change 100 times, in my opinion. You know, like I'll change the plan. There's a big possibility of me doing that. But I sort of got that little man defined. The little man above the eyes. This man that surrounds the eyes. I think that was nice that we got him going. I'll go in the right order so I don't forget where I'm going. But I think it will be interesting to see how it will turn out to have a total grayscale thing going, but with this little splashes of color in between would be quite perfect, I think. Just to have a little bit of light going on as well. So I'll just see about it. Hopefully it will work out nicely and be interesting. If not, then I can do it again. Then I have the one that was already printed. I have the one on the copy paper. So you can just do one more. one that is the rainbow one. I had a big plan that I wanted to do one of the ones from Lovely Dala to see if we could get more people in on the YouTube and sort of, yeah, it's not really It's 746. We're up to 74 days watched on the analytics. So, and we need 166 days watched and 1,000 subscribers by the 20th. So I don't think we're gonna make it on the 20th, so that I don't get thrown off the partner program. Of course, you know, once I make it to that, they will reevaluate if I can become a partner. But it would be rather nice to not be kicked off and lose those things with the videos. I'm fearing that. Also because I need that for the live stream on the Patreon. And I need it for the speed versions of the videos that I make here. So it's actually pretty important that I have that ability. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen if I lose it. Then I'll only be able to upload videos that are max 15 minutes long. And I won't be able to do live streams on it. And yeah, so there's a lot riding on it. But I can see that even like people who I called to ask if they would please, they didn't do it. I don't know why they can't be bothered, because when they need favors, they have no problem turning to me. So I'm like a little bit disappointed. Next time they call me for a favor, I'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry." That's awesome. It will help, babe. Everything helps. Everything helps. Everything helps. It does, and I really appreciate all the help that you guys are giving me. It's so awesome. All the help, all the support makes my day, you know, makes me really happy every day, and enjoy my work much more, and makes me positive about everything. It's gonna work out fine, because I have you guys, and you are sweet and supportive and very very nice. So I'm happy about that, and I'll make it some way, one way or the other. I'm gonna get there. I actually told the guys in 7-Eleven, it was like I went in there for ciggies, and they're always very sweet, the boys there. And he said, like, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" And I said, "Yeah, you can go and subscribe to my YouTube channel." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then I sort of explained to him that I needed this and that. And he was like, "Okay, but, you know, write it down and I'll see what I can do, and if I can get some of the other guys to do it as well." So, you know, you never know. Maybe the boys will come through from 7-Eleven. That would be fun. If the family doesn't come through, maybe the boys from 7-Eleven will. And I was talking to Victoria that maybe we should go around just around the building, to all the apartments in the building, all the neighbors, and ask them to do it. And she was like, "Yeah, Mom, we can do that. We can do that. I will go with you. It'll be fun." But I was just like, I don't know how embarrassing it would be to stand there and, you know, give them a piece of paper with my YouTube and ask them to please go and subscribe. But, you know, if it can help, why not? There's one family upstairs, and they have like 3 or 4 kids, and they're all really nice. So maybe, you know, maybe they all have different. If the whole family subscribed, I'd get 10 more subscribers. So that wouldn't be bad, would it? You know, some might do it. It's better than nothing. Knock on the door and say, "Excuse me for coughing a bit." I mean, but I would love it if you would go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Can you please do that now while I'm here so I can see it? That could be fun. So that concludes that section. Now soon we need to see some color, doesn't it? Just a little splash, you know. Yeah, I think we need a little splash of color now. We've come so far. And I have the plan. How much does that go in? That one goes in 16, and that was the same too. So this one up here and that one goes the same, but I'm not quite sure about this one. I think I'm just going to start with these down here. I'm just going to have a look at this one, if that is the right color that I'm looking for, if it's darker than that yellow or not. Maybe it's too... No, we'll see. Yeah, it wasn't. So yeah, not quite perfect. I think I took the wrong tiger yellow. That happens. This one goes here. But I think also the analytics of YouTube is delayed. So I think it runs with a delay of when it gets in. But we'll definitely get there. That's for sure. I mean, I'm also uploading like a ton of new videos every day. So there's all the time some development going on there. And I think it's just because, you know, I never really pushed the channel before. So it hasn't developed a lot because I just used it differently so that I could share more. Okay, it's nice to see you, Beverly. Have a nice dinner, huh? Have a nice dinner. There's a little splash of color here. Will go a long way, I think. Doesn't need to be too much. It's 5 left, but I've got 6 left here. So I have to take one out. Take this one out here. Oh, I had 5 left. Why can't I count? Counting is so complicated when you're blonde. I mean, especially if it's over 5, you know, like all of a sudden 5 becomes 6. And yeah, right. Not that complicated, is it? So yeah, we got it. It's gonna be very subtle. We're gonna have a big effect, I think. So yeah, I was really happy with my second place. And the one who got the first place totally deserved it. It was really awesome. And I'm very proud of my second place. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm still in the lead, so you just have to stay in the lead. I'm hoping that the new theme will be something that can inspire me to do a #1 dish. It could be nice to be #1 just once. It could be neat. You get more like going when you reach the second spot. You get more hungry for making a first one. In 2 other weeks, I had a 6th spot. So I mean, it's not bad. It's really good. The first 2 weeks, I got 6. So I'm very happy with getting a second. And it's the second time. Like the first round of Steam at Iron Chef was last year. And there I reached the second spot 1 time in 17 weeks. So reaching it now, already in week 3, I'm pretty pleased. That looks promising, that maybe I'll do good. So I'm really happy about that. Very proud of it. So yeah, I think it's great. So just to adjust this a little bit. So I'm thinking what to do. So we got that going here. And then let's see. Here, I think I'm gonna, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm gonna go for the blue grays here, and I'm also gonna go for them down there. So I'm just gonna take the green grays and put them over here and exchanging blue grays. I don't want them to get messed up with each other. So I have a #1, and the next one would be #3. There's a big step. #5, #7, and #9 in this set of the blue grays. I'm gonna do that here. So we're gonna have I'm gonna do it down here too. So we're gonna have blue grays there and there. So I'm gonna start with this lightest one. I'm gonna start with in here, I think. So it's gonna be pretty light. I'm gonna do it in here. I think I'm also gonna go on the top, right here, and here. So now we got those that are rounded with our blue grays. So I'm gonna go here. So I'm gonna take it. Sorry, I was out of the picture. I just saw it now. It's gonna be pretty. It's definitely different to have one where you have so much gray, and it's also nice because often I think we are not using the grays in the sets a lot because we don't really know what to do with them. And we get like, oh, this is a little bit frustrating with those grays. So now we know, we can see what is the effect if you actually just go full on and use them. I will get a nice result on it. A beautiful result of just pure gray. Exactly. I mean, just getting a spot, just getting a placement is great. I mean, even also because I see the other dishes and they're beautiful. I mean, there's so many awesome, and it's from all over the world. So of course there's some of them that are really pros. A lot of them have restaurants and are pro chefs. So of course there's some of them where really it's difficult to compete with them because they have both the means and the kitchens to accommodate cooking in a whole other way, and especially to compete with, I mean, it's almost impossible. I have to backtrack here. It's almost impossible to compete with the ones who do the it's called the molecular gastronomy. I mean, I have no chance. I can't do that. I have no, I don't have the things to do it with, and I don't have the know-how. I mean, it's not easy to do the dishes that some of them do. They're like really dishes that takes days to do, and where you need a lot of different things, like what's called gadgets and stuff. You need chemicals, sort of like strange things to. Yeah, you need a lot of stuff, and But if you have a working kitchen in a restaurant, of course, because a lot of them are chefs, then they have a whole different way of being able to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go around the eyes here. I have 16 here, so I'm just gonna count. But definitely these are gonna be color wheels up here. They're gonna add a splash of color. And I have a few more places where I wanted to add a splash of color. But there they have less. So I'll just maybe adjust the rainbow so that it fits with how many spaces there are. I mean, that is doable. So that was the third blue-gray. And here we have the fourth blue-gray. It's going up here. Put it up there. I don't know if I did something with maybe like this then. Yeah. I think I probably moved it a little bit, and then I got lost on that. I think I actually would like to have a colors here, just a little bit to sort of, have some color down there. So I think I'm gonna, oops, I forgot up there, of course. Yeah, clever me. Because I do want it to sort of connect. This is nice, but there's not like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. It's not really enough for this. I'll have to see what I do. We need this one up here. I'm in the picture. I'm still in the picture. So that is looking good. So yeah, it's not really enough there to do, because even just choosing 5 is difficult to get the full feel, like yellow, orange, red, purple. Then we already have 4, so I'll wait a little bit with what I'm gonna do down there. So yeah, I might as well do this, make him complete. Yeah, because there's no way that I can get the colors to fit and have them all represented. Then it's better just to go with it. And then we're going backwards with this one. Okay, I of course forgot to do the other ones up there. Typical. So we're just gonna do those. Yeah. I'm gonna go with this one up here first. It's interesting to see the different grays and how that will interact in the end, the salt of this. How it will look, you know. If you'll, I think you'll notice that they're different. The different shades. It's definitely going to be a steel mask. Very beautiful steel mask. So now we can go on. This one I already put on down there, so I have to put up here. It's going to be quite interesting. So this is definitely a very different weirdo. So yeah, it was crazy when the paper, because the postman didn't ring the doorbell, and I bet I know why, because, you know, you have to buy 5 boxes is a minimum when you have to buy them. So, you know, that's, but then I have for like 2 or 3 years paper, I think, because it's like a ton of paper, literally. So my dad had gone out, and then he came back and he said, you know, there's like 3 big boxes down in the entry hall of the building. It says Global Doodle Gems on it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's the paper. And he say, yeah, I can't lift it because he's got that one shoulder that doesn't work. He can't use the arm at all. I can't get them, I can't lift them, I can't do anything. And so I had to go down and get them up. Oh my God, my arms are like, it was so heavy. Thank you, Anne. Yeah. I think it's nice to see how you can play with the grays and actually make them work for you. And make a cool play on something. You can also, if you're doing a mandala, then you can go for like a round circle where you go full color, then make a circle around it, and then you can sort of make a steel effect. Yeah, but that's a bit difficult to explain. I would have to show you. I'll show you, because I used it on I did a mandala, big one, where I only think I used 4 colors, but then I used like 10 different grays. That's why my Shinhan Touch grays are very empty. But I did that in sort of a circle around, and it gave it sort of like a steely effect. It was a really nice effect on the whole drawing. So that's why I was actually already in my head thinking that I was gonna go gray on this one yesterday. Well, I actually thought about the day that I put it up on PayHip. I was looking at him and I was thinking, Could be really nice to do him in just grays with little splashes of colors. Just a little bit. I mean, we still need to have, I mean, Maria needs a little bit of rainbow in her life. Otherwise, life gets too boring. So just a little bit of rainbow goes a long way. So we got this one here. And then we got it up here. That's good. And then here, this one will go full circle. The other one will get an extra, a little extra. And these are all from the Touch 5 set that I'm using. So yeah, now we're going on with the lightest, and that's just gonna go down here in the tip. Boom. It's gonna go up here. Yeah, and then it's gonna go up here. What I could do is maybe I could cheat a bit. It's very pretty. And then we're gonna go on the second. This one needs an extra, and that's the one there that will go outside of here. So that was the blue grays. And we just, now the only set of grays we still haven't used is the brown grays. And I'm gonna go brown on that and on this. And then I'm gonna use, you know, because we had the cool grays here, the cool grays here, I'm gonna use the cool grays here. So yeah, the plan is still holding tight. The only thing that I'm thinking about right now, I'm gonna take the blue grays over here next to the green grays. So we've used those. We haven't been in on the brown grays yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count here because I know I have 16. And I know that this one up here uses 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 16 here if I want to have rainbow there. But this one goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I would, you know, that's only goes in 13. And this one here goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, you know, that means that I can do that one as 16. And then I'd have to reduce the set to 13 here, which is doable. I have to change those two, I have to switch places. So that's doable. I can take out, and also 10, I can also take out, then I'll just take out some of the colors in between. Hi, Ross. Nice to see you. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go with this one first, because then after I can remove to do the 13, then I can remove to do that. So I'm gonna go with this yellow first. The darker yellow. Oh yeah, I forgot to count the eyes. If we say that the starting point is here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's got 17. So on that one, I can just add one color. So that's doable too. I'll just add one. Maybe I should just do it now so that I get those done in between. So I'm just gonna add, maybe this one is nice, the pinky one. What do I feel like I'm missing out on? I think a pink, if I can open it. Yeah, so I'll just add this pink one. So we know that this one only goes for that one down here. Then we add the yellow here. So like that, and the yellow here. Like that. And then I'm gonna get cheeky. I'm gonna get a little bit cheeky because, you know, we like cheekiness. We like little surprises. It's one thing with the tiger markers. The colors are not consistent. So here I'm gonna go this way around. And here I'm gonna go this way around. So the 2 hours will have a slight, you know, they'll go the different directions, if you know what I mean. So I'm hoping that that will have a little, you know, we don't have a lot of, you know, don't have a lot of color in this one. So just a slight little effect, like going a different way around, might prove to have a big effect in the end. Just a little bit. Shit, did I do that wrong? I think I did. I already did it wrong. Okay, so it won't be like that. I thought I did it on their sides, but I didn't. I actually didn't. How did I fuck that up? I was talking about it while I did it, and I still did it the right way. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My little effect, I fooled myself, and I actually did it symmetrically. Why am I such an idiot? Anyways, sorry. My little effect didn't work because I fooled myself on it. So that happens. So yeah, there's not gonna be that little funky effect I was planning on because I'm a complete idiot. So yeah. I'm not a complete idiot. Sometimes I'm a slight idiot. Slightly. That has nothing to do about that. He's gotta accept it. Accept it. Oh, I forgot that one. So yeah. I got this one. So. Was not what I wanted. You can also see, you know, like I can see that there's a difference. I actually think that that's what messed up. Was the colors. The colors actually look different on this paper than they do on my regular copy paper. Yeah, it does. The colors are different. So your colors can, yeah, that's why I also say that if you are always coloring in books, you should do your color charts in the color companion book version, because you'll be doing it on the paper where you normally color. Whereas if you normally print it, then you should do it on the print paper that you normally use, because on the papers the colors can look different. Yeah, but and the thing was, I wanted the spiral to go one way on the other one and the other way on the other one. So I did mess up. I did mess up. I fess up. I messed up. So yeah, you see down here you got that extra pink because it was 17 spaces and not 16 like up here. So you don't get that pink up here. Yeah, the colors do look different. And you will see that yourself when you print on different paper. Sometimes the color will look different. Open up your eyes, then you realize. Thank you. I think it's gonna be funky, eh? It looks very serious down here. Very, very serious indeed. But and we'll lighten it up with just a light splash of color up here. Right now that will look excessive. But once we get the other grays in here, then it will just light up, I hope, because those sections will be darkened again. And then it will hopefully give a nice lighting up effect on the picture. It's a nice way to get to use the ink you have in your grays and get a good. It's best when it's a good mess up. Sometimes mess ups are good things. This is a blue. Blue is going here. And here. Yeah, I wanted to do that. But now it's too late. Now I'll just, it's okay this way too. It was just to make sort of a little slight switch up. But I didn't get it. So yeah. So yeah, that's nice. I think it's gonna look pretty neat in the end. I don't know if I'm going too wild overboard with having colors on the horns, but we won't really see before until we get closer to the end, and might have been a little bit too excessive to do those horns as well. Maybe I should have just kept it at very little spots, but that's too late now, unless I put gray over it. Just put a light gray over it so it all gets gray, but a different tone of gray on each one. Yeah, that would be boring. But it's doable. It can just be like a rainbow gray up there. So we can dull it down a bit. Because the colors will go through if I use a light gray on top of it. But you'll still see the colors, but they will be grayed. So that's a possible. If I think it's too much, then I can do an effect like that on top of it. a gray rainbow. Then I'd have to use the gray from this set, from the tiger markers, I think. Or at least on the tiger markers. No, it would be a mess. I won't do that. It would be a mess because I'm using both tiger and touch. So it would be messy. Or potentially very messy. Oh, she's sneezing a little. You can hear her. So my dad's friend, she's here. So she's just visiting. I'm gonna say later on this. It's like always asking me if I want to, install and restart. And I always say later. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, and welcome to the Grey Party. The Shades of Grey Party here that I got going on. So this is how to use up your grays that you hardly ever use. And I got some speed videos up too today. So this is good. So yeah. And the last color in. This is yellowish one. Concludes the eyeball and the end of the horns here. And I did draw some weirdies today, so I'm happy with that. So that's good. We got that concluded. So now we're on to some brown gray. So we're going to take the brown grays here. And warm grays. It's also brown grays. There's a 0.5. I'm just going to take maybe the cool gray. Move these over here. I'm just going to move the cool grays here and then put the brown grays here because I work best from that side. So that's a 0.5 and a 1. What do we have here? A 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9 in the brown grays. So that's what we're going to work on these two sections here. I think I'm going to start with the light one. Hi, Carol. Oh, that's awesome, Candice, and it's working. That's great. Great. So this is the warm gray, 0.5. So we're getting to see all the grays in the new touch set here. And next up, it's a 1. I mean, it would be more consistent if I had stayed with just having the cool grays throughout the whole drawing. But I thought it could be fun to actually check out all the grays now that we're at it. And it is kind of an experimental experimental one. It's very far from what I normally do, which is very colorful. But I think that we'll see that this can be just as effectful and a fun way to get a different kind of effect on your work, on your piece. So I'm hoping that you will like the idea and maybe try it yourself on something one day to use it at least as, you know, it can also just be one part in between. It can be a fun effect to have. Oh my god, it hurts so much when I cough. It even goes up to the ears when I'm coughing. So yeah, it's a full-on thingy, this one. And you can really see the brown grays. I think when you look at this, this was the green grays. No, that was this was the green grays here and here. And this was the cool grays, and this was the blue grays, blue and blue. Now we'll have brown there and brown there. And then we'll be back to the cool grays here. Because we only have, there's only 4 in the green grays, so I think it's good that it just stays in there. Because it would be too much with only having 4 to switch between here. I think it would not be so neat. So yeah. It's very nice. The brown grays are very nice, very warm. Warm grays, not brown. Warm grays, Maria. Warm grays, remember it. So yeah, I think it's gonna. I think overall it will be quite, you know, like in your face, sort of different. So that was the last one of them. So now I'm gonna go backwards. How did I manage to put that on in the wrong way? So I'm just going the other way around here. I think it's actually looking really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I had hoped to have used cool grays on the whole thing, but I just didn't think I had enough of them to make it really, really interesting. So I guess I need to figure out my sets of grays, especially the cool grays, because I have from many different sets, so maybe I can put some together and get a perfect row. I'm just gonna do this. So yeah, on to the next one. But I think also because this is going to be so gray, it's going to be nice that it balances out up there. I think that's going to be a nice thing. Everlasting love, open up your eyes, then you realize. Yeah, it was actually, it just, yeah, it's looking good, huh? The browns. I think the browns are looking very nice. Brown grays. This is a lighter one. So that's a lighter one that we're going with the next up. So that's looking good. And that would be the last of the brown grays here. This is lovely, isn't it? I think it's shaping up really nicely. So that was the last of the brown grays that we're going to take away. And then we're going to go here on our cool grays, because that's what we are having here. I still haven't done that. I am thinking that I'll continue, like that blue gray I have here. No, the green gray, I think he will come up here. So I think we're just going to take that. That was the darkest green gray. I'm just going to do that now, because I think that'll close it off nicely. Because then it's sort of continued up there. We only have those two sections, so then it gets a little bit more of the whole with the green, gray. I could, of course, have, just made some lines and then use the green gray the whole way around. That could have been nice too. And I wish I thought about it before I started putting down the color, but I didn't. So now it's like this because I could have made that effect up there, but I didn't. So that's the way it's gonna be. I was actually thinking about it before. Don't know why I didn't. But yeah, now it's too late. It's too late to change that. So, but I think it's also nice that it has some consistency. And it's nice that it's not the black, that it sort of like draws the white out. So that was that for that one over there. Now we're going in here. I'm going to start with the lighter gray, the one that I like, this light gray. It's a very beautiful light gray. I think it's actually shaping up really nicely, this one. So much color. I think it's going really well. Thank you, Beth. Oh, that's awesome to hear, Candice. So nice that you got it going. Much nicer to see on the big screen. These awesome fears. It's funny because the monitors will really show it up differently. I often like sit and I'm baffled when I move a drawing from one of my monitors to another, because I have two monitors and then the computer monitor. but I have 2 external ones, so I'm working on 3 screens. And when I move them over to the computer screen, it's just so different than from the 2 other ones. The colors, and it's just funny to see. And then you know that it really makes a huge difference which monitor you're watching on, because you know you might not see the same colors as somebody else is seeing. This is also why, you know, like if you're doing something for print, it's nice to use the SMIC, CMYK, but you know, a lot of places they won't let you do it, which I think is really strange, because that's what you use for print, but because everything is so digitalized, a lot of the places will actually prefer to get the RGB. They don't take the SMIC, for instance, on the Society 6. It will inverse the colors if I upload them in SMYK, CMYK, sorry. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and actually the K stands for the black. So yeah, it will inverse the colors, so that it will look really weird. I've tried that, and it baffled me. I didn't know why it was doing that, and then I started like troubleshooting to try to find the issue. I found out that was because they prefer that you put it up in RGB mode, which is red, green, blue, but it's the digital colors. Well, of course, in the digital colors you have like billions of colors, but they'll never print the same, you know. So it's funny. Yeah, I think it's going really well. This. I am, however, thinking that it might be too much to have the rainbow here where the eyes are. So I'm thinking maybe to change my plan on that one. I'm thinking that might be just, you know, I think maybe these 3 touches are enough, but I'm just gonna like see what it looks like when we got the cool grays on here, because then I might switch up and take the green grays and put them here and here. I'm thinking maybe it would be too much rainbow, because we just needed dashes of color, and this one is gone it's a very rough one. It's a lot. But we'll see what happens when we get there. Once I've got the cool grays out here, then I'll know more about what effect we'll need in there. We can take a decision better. It was on purpose that I started with the light one, because it would then be going not so dark. So it would be going out again in the light. I think that would be nice. But the scan will probably also show up differently. That'll also be interesting to see how the scan will be of this one. I use Photoshop. Photoshop, you can always, but you can get lots of. You can also just websites where you can go in and find the codes. But when you use Photoshop, you just tell it if you want to see it in RGB or if you want to see it in CMYK, and then it will make the picture in that. So that's pretty easy to change also. Because I had to change mine, the ones that I was uploading to Society 6, because it was iffing everything up, iffing it up. So that's easy just with Adobe Photoshop. So now we have to go back in the colors, go into light again. So that's pretty neat. It's going to be neat, I think. It's a very, very smooth surface on this paper. I like that. I like smooth surface to work on. I bet this is very good for color printing, actually. If I wanted to print something out in color, I think it will print very nicely on this paper. So yeah. It's looking good. We'll be going lighter again. I think it'll be a handsome effect. So this is good. Yeah, I'm liking this. I think it's a good effect that we're getting. Really nice. I'm happy I decided to do this. I think also with the grays next to each other, it gives a sort of a 3D dimension effect in a way, sort of like that is more, yeah, I think it gives an effect of more movement. This is the lightest one. And now we come to decision time. Yeah, so I'm actually thinking that at least this one up here, I want to do the greens, the green set from down here. So we get that represented, and that we don't have a rainbow where the rainbow is, because that would take attention away from that. So I think I'm going to start with the dark one in the middle. Darker one here. Then work my way out from that. It's the wrong end of the stick. That way we get that brought up here too. So that's good. I don't see it as being greenish. Maybe, I don't know. But there's only 4 colors, so. Thank you, Rose. No, because the markers are just markers. You decide if you want to see it in CMYK or RGB, and that's just a definition of color systems. So that's something that you decide. The markers don't have a color code like that. It wouldn't matter if they did, really. It wouldn't make a big difference, I think, and if they provided those codes. I mean, you will have you can generate the codes in both. There are lots of code generators out there where you can just like put in a color, or like look over a color with a color picker, and it will tell you what color code it is. But it's not really something that you need, unless you're working with a specific, or if you're working digitally, then you can need it to decide which colors to use. Hi, Kat. Nice to see you. Yep, we're playing with grays today. Okay, have fun with the Olympics, Rose, and see you. Yeah, I love grays too. And I just thought that it would be really neat on this one to have a grayscale one with a few splashes of the rainbow. So now I have to make a decision, and that has to do with those 10 down here. And I do actually think that we got that rainbow here, we got that here, and I do think that we could break it up with having a rainbow here just to sort of connect it. I think that would be nice. I still think this has to be empty. I don't know why I feel like that has to be empty, but it's sort of like emphasizing the eyes. You can also take a look on the other hand and see it like this. It was too bad there wasn't enough here to do a rainbow. Then I should have done the whole face a rainbow, but it didn't really work out like that. But here we got 10. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means I have to take some colors out because now there's 17 here. So at least I'm going to take this one and this one. Then we got 15 there. Oh, I'm going to take out, I'm going to take out this one. Now we got 14. I'm going to take out this one. No, I'm going to take out this one. This one. We got 5 there. I'm going to take out this one. No, we got 5 here. I'm going to take out this one. Yeah. So now we got 10. So I took out a few markers here. Yeah. And then I'm going to go slight rainbow here. So of course it's not going to be the same as there and there, but that's okay, I think. We can live with that. It's just going to give that blob of color. This is a limited edition blob of color. I'm using, for the grays, I'm using Touch 5 or Touch New Touch or Touch 5. Well, they call the same. It's the same markers. They have both names. So that's on the thing it comes in. It says New Touch markers on the pouch, and on the markers themselves it says Touch 5. And then I'm using the Tiger twin markers, also with the Touch 5 for the colors, the rainbow colors. So that's sort of the mix that I'm using here. Because that set of Touch 5 had a lot of grays. So that was the ideal one to take the grays from. I know that the Spectrum Noirs actually also have a lot of grays. But I wanted to use these for this one. I felt that also now I've used Spectrum Noir the last couple of days. I don't want to use the same ones all the time. I like to switch it up sometimes and, you know, use some different ones. So this is going to be lovely, I think. It's just going to offer a bit of a different. So yeah, that's kind of it. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, you have to get the whole thing in there. Um, here I only had 10 spaces, so I sort of had to take some out, 7 out of the rainbow that went around here, and here I had 16. But I think it works because these are the strongest ones, so they tie up. But I did want to have the full range, just a limited one. So that's how he turned out. I think he turned out pretty neat, if I have to say so. I think it's a good result. I'm happy with him. So yeah, that was sort of it for today, for coloring today. But I wanted to show you next couple of days what we'll be playing with. I already uploaded before I started. So we have tomorrow. We had a little look at her yesterday. This girly, and she's pretty beautiful. There's a lot. She's maybe slightly shy. She's a shy, weirdy girl. So yeah, but she's definitely got tons to color. And then this one is for Saturday. This is a fun one. I think this might be the yoga Weirdie. It seems like it's doing things that are impossible. Or you can see it like that, and then it's a total different one. Then I see it very, very differently. So, you know, as always, it's a Weirdie fun for the next 2 days coming up for us. I think we're going to have a great time with these two. And he's already up on pay hip, and she's up on pay hip, so it's just to go grab them to get ready for our next thing. And then I want to tell you something funny. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to color one more time live, and it's going to be here on Facebook. And I'm going to be doing this one. I'll be doing this one. I'm just going to go to the toilet, to the bathroom. Then I'll start a new video, and I'll be doing a spiral on this one. So stay tuned for that. And I'm hoping that a lot of you will help me and share this when I do that to the groups, because it's going to sort of also have the lovely Darla, and hopefully I can do some advertising for getting some people into YouTube. So I'm going to be on in like 5 minutes to do this one. So I'm hoping that a lot of you guys will share it. And I'll be looking at the book, the lovely Darla book, and I'll be using the Koh-i-Noor set. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Hope you will join me. I hope you will help me share. So see you. And see you tomorrow again. But I'll be back in five minutes time and do that. Okay, bye-bye.